So we're gonna start the meeting tonight. I need, somebody to, make a motion to excuse Scott Matsuda from.
Do we not take attendance before that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
No, that's all right. You've done this role before, so I will defer to you, but I'm gonna take attendance. Scott Matsuda? Not here. Anita Francisco, not here currently. Not
here,
Priya Mayfold here. Gil Peterson. Anita Francisco. Okay.
I don't remember you saying Kermit, but he's here.
Coming up, people.
I'm here.
Okay, I move to excuse Scott.
Do we have
That's just Keo, right? Hold on a second. There's only two, right? Okay, then Scott and Keo.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. All right. And do we have any public comments there?
No, no one signed up, no one's logged in.
Okay. And I have a motion to approve the minutes from the 2025 September meeting. Move to approve.
I second.
All opposed? Or
Wow, negativity.
all. And we don't have council currently, so we'll go past that. And so Carolyn's gonna talk about community benefits.
All right, so just wanted to take a minute and do a little recap on welcoming week. And open it for conversation from all of you and your thoughts on like what we did well, what we could do better, what you might want to do differently regardless. Just some thoughts.
Well, we definitely had good weather. That was the problem this time. That could be either or, I suppose. I liked having it outside as opposed to being inside this time. But I have heard some comments that it was a lot like Juneteenth.
I'm wondering,
In what way?
Just people were sort of, I think, thought it was. I think it didn't have its own identity, I suppose, strongly enough.
As far as being like a resource.
Yeah. And what were you saying?
I was gonna say, I was wondering if Juneteenth will be the same type of resource fair next year. That seems to be an event that is based on a desire of the community, of what that looks like versus the resource fair. And I know it was like a resource fair this last year with entertainment and then other things happening, but
Yeah, because we do have resources there.
yes.
Yeah, they're having their first planning meeting in the next month, I think.
I didn't think about that aspect of it, but it might be seen redundant. Having both of them the same.
Having what?
Having both of them the same way, like a resource. I was not here, was I here? I was here in Unity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like the
I
layout
think
is really similar, but then, I mean, there were differences for sure, as far as like
Yeah.
having panel discussions and some things over at the library and so forth, but the resource fair part of it and the
We had,
location.
we had a number of resources that were at both.
Yes, yeah.
I liked that it was the same time with the art fair.
Mhm.
That was my first time. I mean. It's, yeah. But I don't know what you mean by co-locate at another regional event.
Well, one of the big, so we didn't get a lot of attendance, I would say that's sort of a what happened, and it's been twice now, and we thought maybe moving it next next to the art show and on the same day as the art show, we've got more. But there's this big safety fair that happens that day in Linwood, I think.
Mhm.
And there was some other
Is
thing.
it at the event center or the thing in Linwood?
I think they leverage the light rail area, and that's where Split Seven is always at.
There were a couple things going on, and it's the first couple of weeks of school. It just tends to be a challenging time for people.
I think we had more community people there, but it still wasn't a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was necessarily it wasn't as much of a population that we hope to reach as
Yeah.
we would have liked to.
What if we make it something like a multicultural performance event? It's like, for example, when we rented reserved the school, they had a, did they have a stage or a?
Yes, they have a stage.
Did you go to that, were you at the AAPI?
The Asian American, Native American.
With Kermit.
Pacific
No,
Island?
I don't think so. Everything is merging in my.
It was in May. That one was in
Probably I
May.
did it.
Because there were a lot of performances and that actually went on really well, and we didn't have a lot of resource. We had some resources.
That's you had a few, yeah, about eight booths.
That was more challenging though.
Yeah.
It was more
Because,
challenging.
well, the resources, even though we didn't have that many, but once the music started, it was hard for people to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Like at the resource tables, so it might be better just to do like foodie or something at an event like the AA and HPI one. But I guess there is a movement, there's interest that like Andrew has in getting community groups together to do a multicultural event, but it probably would be better in the summertime, and there's a fellow who I've spoken to, he was the man, Robert Ha, he is the one who introduced me to the Chinese dancers who came to.
Someone wants to.
Hello, guests, can you hear us?
I can. It's Erin. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Erin, nice to hear from you. Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to put myself on mute, but I'll be listening.
Okay, we just started the events update, but we can go back to your update and when we're done with this section.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I will be there eventually. So yeah, I was going to say.
Well, we can
I'll
wait for you.
Try my
Yeah,
best to get there.
Sure, we'll wait for you.
Thank you.
Yep. Anyway, there's options to do something entirely different that's smaller or more targeted to a certain group, or if there's it's also National Hispanic Heritage Month, so is it an opportunity to do something with folks from that community that is already happening and we support it? Or it can be any and all the things that we've already talked about doing, like book readings or film showings or helping a group with an event that they're trying to put on. It doesn't have to be what we did. That's just what we thought the community might enjoy. But I just wonder.
How do we track attendance for welcoming week? For Juneteenth, I know we gave people tickets and we wrote down their zip code.
Oh, yeah.
For welcoming week, we don't know how many people came.
We kind of just estimated it, I think, but.
Yeah.
And it was definitely less people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, would you say?
I think a liberal number would be 100.
Yeah.
But what was the number for the Juneteenth? I don't remember.
Was it 400?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were giving free food away.
Yeah.
But they had to have sponsors to buy out the food trucks, so. And we don't have to decide on that tonight.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that on the table for discussion, to think about what else is happening. If we want to do what we're doing, is there something we can do with others where there's more people, even if it is resource fair related, or there's other options too.
I have a question. Is something that's set though is the time of year that we wanna do it, so.
Yeah, that week, and we don't have to, like, if we feel like it's better to put our resources towards a multicultural event than welcoming week, we can certainly still do a proclamation for welcoming week. We can celebrate it in some smaller way and focus our energy on other things.
I'm trying to request in September,
It's,
Mhm.
yes,
if we do the welcome.
yeah, it's like a national week, yeah.
Um, okay.
Any other discussion on that one? I'll probably bring it up the next couple of times we meet though, because if we wanna, I think by the end of the year, it would be good if we could plan on what kind of events we're doing, if they're bigger than something I can organize, because it means I have to pull in other people to.
Well, get on other people's calendars.
Yeah.
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 If you wanted to host an event like a multicultural performance event that is indoors,
Mhm.
we don't really have very many options within Mountlake Terrace except for the school, right? Because I cannot think of anywhere else.
Yeah.
We don't have any concert halls or anything with
There's
stage.
the high school theater. Have you been there?
Yeah, that's my thing.
It's designed to do like play performances. And so it's a full stage and then seating.
Is that the private one or is?
No, Mountlake Terrace High School.
Mountlake Terrace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's actually, and
yeah.
we're allowed to reserve.
Yeah, it's through
It's an
the,
auditorium.
but it's more,
Yeah,
it's not the vaulted ceilings. That's a combination lunchroom gym, like Terrace Park is.
I've never been inside the schools in Mountlake Terrace, so I don't know, but.
You've been to Terrace Park because you were at welcoming week the first
Oh, yeah,
time.
okay. I don't remember a stage there. I remember a stage at the private school though.
Yeah,
No.
it's similar to the one at the private school.
Oh, okay.
It's like in the lunchroom
Oh, okay.
and
So there's still at least a stage and.
It's
we
a
can
full
actually put-
stage, but
We can, but we'll have to bring the chairs. It's not like there, it's not like a
Right.
theater.
right. The high school is a theater
I suppose it's a
with
theater.
with theater seating. Yeah.
Okay, so we do have a stage in Mountlake Terrace,
Yes.
Mhm.
if you wanted to use.
Yes.
Because one of the governments, I'm not gonna mention their names, reached out to me saying they do want something cultural and they want their culture to be included, and they told me, Karen, schedule this and we'll give you money. So if we incorporate their culture,
yeah,
not just them, but
yeah.
other cultures as well, they might, because they said we can fund an artist to
Oh,
be
nice.
sent to Washington State.
Nice. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that's really great. We should think about that.
Yeah.
What I was starting to say earlier was, so Robert Ha, he works for Chinese, something services, in Edmonds. And he's the one who, or Asian Counseling Services, I forget, I'll look at the organization name. He's the one who recommended the senior Chinese dance sword folks for AA and HPI month, and I ran into him at an event, and he's contemplating moving his dragon boat event to Ballinger.
Oh, really?
oh,
And that would be cool to piggyback off of if
Yeah.
possible. I mean, because you've got the backside of the senior center. I mean, there's a lot of options there. It just depends on the time of year, but I'm pretty sure it's in the late spring, early.
That would be,
But I mean, he could do that as a private event, but it also would be an interesting thing to, get other groups involved with as well. So I need to reach out to him again and see what he's thinking about. I already put him in touch with Andrew, our events person, so. And Corinne has a secret
Government service.
government connection. I'm gonna put that in the minutes. No.
It's not a secret, I just don't want it to be recorded in public
Yeah, yeah.
session.
Okay. no
That's all.
worries. All right, well, let's think about that stuff. Okay, anyone want to give a recap on our community conversation? At Ballinger Center?
I wasn't here.
Anita?
It was,
Emmett, or-
you were there. You go first.
Oh, want me to-
You go first. You made me take notes. No, you took the notes. You
I
made
did
me
take-
facilitate, so
I did
you do
take-
the talking this time
Yeah.
first.
I was, I don't know how surprised everybody else was, but I thought it was great. The attendance was probably a little higher than we might have thought, so that was good. The discussions that, at least the table we did, it was pretty lively. People were really having good discussions, and it wasn't just about saying their ideas, like people were listening to others, and one of the things we got a lot was the just the appreciation for having a chance to be heard was expressed a few times, and how that these kind of things, people were asking how these kind of things we can do either more of them, or you know, have more opportunities for input. And so which I thought was great. It means that they felt heard enough to kind of want to do this more.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was I was pretty impressed with how it worked out.
Mhm.
How many people do you think attended?
We do it about,
I was just under 20, like 17 or something.
That were not us.
Yeah.
Right, okay, because that room was kind of full.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like there were 20 some odd bodies in it, but
Yeah. It was interesting, we asked how people learned about it, and almost everyone learned about it from Facebook.
Really?
Even the people who don't use a computer, like their children found it on Facebook and told them about it.
yeah.
And so I thought that was, but I think mostly it was from the community page.
Mhm.
Yes.
Which they repost stuff that we post sometimes, so.
Yes, I noticed, so with meeting with the seniors, I learned that the city is posted, so there's two Facebook groups for the city of Mountlake Terrace community. And the city is posting in one
Mhm.
and not the other that was there first.
Okay.
So one calls themselves official, but they're an offshoot.
The official.
The
Like
official.
Terrace, yes.
Yeah, that was an offshoot because of the rules that were on the first one, which is where the raccoons were.
Raccoons.
There's a whole thing about raccoons.
So which one are we posting on?
You're posting on the one that calls themselves the official.
Oh,
There's also just the Mountlake Terrace.
Mhm.
Facebook.
but the other one
page.
was the original.
The other one is the first, yes.
And are there more people on it?
I think there's probably equal amounts. One
Oh.
allows for more
Like-
negativity and
Yeah.
discourse of community issues than the other, which is why it became an offshoot. Some
I think
people-
there's some people on both.
Yes,
I look at both.
yeah, I didn't know that the other one existed.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, until the senior center one,
Oh.
until they were talking about it, and then I found it.
I don't know how I ended up on both of them, but I've been on both.
Yeah, I thought some of the takeaways I thought that were interesting were, there, and the group I was working with, a lot of the folks had lived there 20, 30 or more years. And a couple of them, without solicitation, said, I really appreciate the growth and the change happening in the city. Like,
Wow.
I like having more options for business or restaurant or, you know, things like that. Certainly there were a couple people who maybe thought differently or were concerned about saving some of the single family. And, you know, I think it's hard for people to understand zoning regulations and to know that, like, just because we upzone one area doesn't mean like we're wiping out all the single family homes, so.
Right.
But that was interesting. There was a man who had read the entire comp plan in my group.
Wow.
And wanted to know why we had 3 town centers. So, but really great conversation. He was super smart, really interesting conversation. So, yeah, and a couple people that moved here within, like, to retire, like 3 to 5 years ago. and just love how walkable it is in the parks, and people are friendly, and you can just talk to people,
That's the
strangers.
affordability bit, because it's less expensive here than some of the community.
Amy moved here. Retired. So
Yes, well, yes, I was already retired, but yes, it did suit the affordability part.
Yeah.
I think our table was really similar to that. Like there was a lot of,
Yeah.
there's a lot of conversation about, oh, what used to be there at this thing, and they would say whatever store or restaurant that used to be. And there was a lot of like that nostalgia of what used to be, because really most of our table had been there for quite a long time. And like I've been here for 23 years, and I think all but one of the table had been here longer than me, and one woman was actually born, well, she was raised here.
Yeah,
right?
she was born here. She grew up here. I think she went away for a little bit
Right.
and then came
That's right.
back,
Wow.
like went away to college
Yeah.
and then.
So there was a lot of nostalgia about what used to be here, but same thing at our table, talking about parks and trails, that how much better they are, and easier to exist in, and welcoming and that kind of thing. That I think for the most part that they understood that the change is good. We got the same vibe from the table too.
Yes.
That's great.
when people say they want more opportunities to talk, do you think they want a general community conversation like that, or they maybe didn't know about other ways that they could engage and are now interested in like going to the water and sewer public works forum that we just had, or some kind of meeting like that? Or do you think they just generally like the open dialogue?
I think some on our table probably already do those. They probably already go to those. They seemed really engaged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they try and go to as many things as possible. So,
Okay.
I don't mean to speak for what they do go
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
got the feeling that they were.
And they're very eager for community conversations
Yeah.
around the pavilion
Oh,
Projects,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
and having similar formats of having people all come together and share their opinions before plans are made.
Mhm.
And that was what was in my head, even though I wasn't at this one, is that would it be useful to have some of our community conversations, instead of being generally informational, be sort of focused on a certain issue, certain group of things to communicate about specifically. I mean, would that be a way we could get people on here?
Yeah. Well, we're working on our community engagement plan for 2026 based on like plans and studies that staff are working on. And so my goal is before the end of the year to kind of work on, to get like a work plan of all the topic areas that could be covered, both for this commission and then the ambassadors, so we can kind of help staff with that. Because when you're one person working on a big project, doing community engagement by yourself can be overwhelming. So it's nice to have these other two groups to support that. Yeah. Okay, great. Anything else on the conversation? All right, any other ideas about community conversations or leads? And I think at this point, we should just be planning for 2026.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I thought it worked really well to target a certain community because, yeah, they really came out and got sort of specific things we want to talk about. And I'm not sure if that was the purpose that we wanted to get seniors to come there, but I thought targeting certain communities was really great.
Yeah, that was the original goal.
Yeah.
We did do the one, I guess we did two that were sort of open to the public. But the goal was really to like bring communities who already have affinity towards one another, whether it's a demographic or a church group, or if we had more nonprofit groups in town, like that. We're trying to do one like with the West Africans, and it's been challenging to figure that out, but so yes. And I think and the reason is more because we are the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission, so we're trying to figure out like what are communities of color, communities who are disadvantaged in some way, like what can we do Like, what is it that we should be focused on, or how can we get you more engaged? Like, what are your challenges? In participating in local government, and how do we overcome them?
Yeah.
Those kinds of things, so. We were thinking about reaching out to the assisted living we did reach out to the assisted living centers, there's 3 in the city. And we thought we were gonna get a van full from one of them, and none of them showed up, so we might have to do those on site to get more participation.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I would love to do is, work with some of our low-income apartment buildings in the North End, well, anywhere, but I know there's a cluster of them sort of at 212 area. And we could host a meeting up in that area, or we could do it on Zoom. But
How are you gonna name it? Like, you cannot say this community discussions for low income housing.
You can do community conversations at specific
Neighborhood?
neighborhoods
Yeah.
and for apartment complexes.
Okay.
So on Saturday, I spent the day at an apartment complex in Everett that historically has not participated in services with the Red Cross. And we had 88 doors answered to us, and we talked to 204 families, or 204 members of families that we're able to engage with, because we went and focused on a specific complex. So that might be worthwhile of engaging with
I do think people maybe feel more comfortable if we're in their environment. I mean, that may have been why the senior center was so, successful, because that's a place some of them probably are used to going.
also, if you know folks who want to be on the board of directors for the senior center, please let me know. We need more like Terrace people there.
Is it a nonprofit? I thought it was private.
Nonprofit.
nonprofit.
They're part of the waterfront center, but they're their own 501c3.
Oh, I thought it was a private entity renting waterfront.
But we own the building.
Collaboration with
and
reduced rent.
Oh, that's why we had the
We love-
option of using it. Okay. That's nice.
Okay. Well, if I gotta reach out to Keo and see if maybe Bonita, we could chat with her about high school.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Stephen, meeting people where they are.
Yeah.
Right, planning for sugar cane.
I just logged in.
Yeah.
Apparently they do not send a notification when they reject.
Oh.
I just realized they said it's not approved. They're saying it will allow us to screen the film and keep it for the additional screenings for internal use only. But this scenario does not allow us to circulate it and obtain enough quantities from the bandwidth. So they just declined it. I can reach out to Sugarcane again, saying, hey, we could not get our library together. How much will you sell it for? I don't know. I can ask them. We have nothing to lose. The worst is they're gonna say no.
I mean, I guess another idea would be, is there another film or like similar?
Or is there a speaker that could do a presentation about the subject matter?
Well, wouldn't it hurt to reach out to them again, just
Yeah.
see what they say, and then we can pull the group back together, kind of a meeting on that.
Yeah. Because there might be somebody who, I mean, if we can't get the funding, if the idea is to make sure that people have an opportunity to understand the subject matter and issues around it.
Yeah.
A good
Well-
speaker with a presentation might,
Well, at least they might give us the permission for like one screening, who knows? Because for the movie screening that I did at the library, she just gave me the digital version and she said, don't share this and delete it after you're done. I don't know if they will be that trusting.
Yeah.
Because it's open to abuse.
yeah, it's understandable.
But I will try.
And regardless, we'll meet with the group after we hear your answer on that. And if we want to do something different, it would be great to get their ideas. They did mention that several of their elders had stories about
Yeah,
being in boarding schools, so, I mean, maybe there can be some firsthand accounts, and we can also look at like Washington Humanities and see if there's a speaker.
yeah, the,
It'd be more impactful if it is the first hand,
Yes.
yes,
if
definitely.
they're willing to talk about it in public.
It is also, yeah, I mean, it's also asking a lot of a person to come share their personal
Right.
stories.
I mean, if they have somebody that's already doing a presentation like with humanities,
Yeah,
yeah, well,
and
they're comfortable doing it.
well, the other thing is the students are all involved in that urban,
Native American Education Alliance.
yes. And that, when I asked them about their internship, I said, well, what is your internship around? And they said, well, it's about this, it's about promoting education.
Mhm.
I don't know if she meant just Orange Shirt Day or more tribal related issues as well.
Yeah,
Broader.
I think
It's
broader things.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid didn't go to the ISU meeting today, and she went to the ISU meeting, the first one in October, and it was very short because most people already had their plans for October, and so they didn't anything really to. She said they said we were all here and okay, and
Okay.
off they went.
Yeah.
She's like, I almost could have caught the bus. So I think it'll get more in depth.
Yeah.
Hopefully as the year goes on.
Great. Anything else about events or community engagement?
We go on. Is there another thing? Another.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, there's our picture. Sorry if that has slides. We're just sitting here talking.
Looks like a lot. Did the participants bring the snacks?
I
Oh, you did?
know my
Yeah.
mother-in-law made them.
Oh, you don't tell them there were snacks.
Yeah.
And they were really good. They were excellent, Karen.
And
I was thrilled when it's recorded.
We need that.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, do we want to have Aaron updates before we move on?
Yes.
Either way, yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me join you late. And I was gonna say I appreciate technology. It's always nice to be able to listen in. So, updates on council stuff. A couple of things that I thought might be of interest to you folks and might be helpful to be able to talk to residents about as you're meeting with folks. I think one is we just did a water sewer comprehensive plan public forum. If you didn't have a chance to watch that, a really good resource. It was recorded, it's online. And I think helpful to point people to, when they're, I think, water rates are something we hear about regularly. And it's complicated, right? And so I thought the city did a really good job of bringing together all of the folks involved in that process because we partner. It's not just like we own the process from beginning to end. We partner with other, local agencies in order to be able to provide those services. And so I thought that was a really great way to better understand that, which I think is a helpful starting point in the conversation. I think another thing we had here at our last meeting last week, we had our federal lobbyist come in and mentioned the government shutdown, potential impact on residents in particular. I'm sure many of you have seen stuff in the news about what's going on, but I think I read today like approximately 1 in 10 Washington residents receive SNAP benefits, so they receive some sort of food benefit from the federal government. And those are coming here on November 1st. So need is probably going to there's already, I think, been a huge uptick from what we've heard from our local food bank in terms of need here this year. And so I think just resources and resource connection can be really helpful when you're talking to folks. I think we were going to work on trying to get, there may already be something on the website, candidly, I don't know 100%, but I think we were going to figure out if we could do some wayfinding for folks. But if folks are struggling, I will say I have a really good resource document. I don't remember who that came from, the county, but anyway, if you have folks that are needing direction, or connection on resources. You know, I don't promise that they're all out there, but there are at least organizations that can help them, try to figure out what they may be able to find, so. I think those were both things I wanted to mention, updates as far as upcoming stuff, it is a 5 Friday or 5 Thursday, month, so we do not have a council meeting this week. We also do not have a council meeting on Thanksgiving, so we do, the next meeting is actually scheduled to be relatively light. But then we probably have some heavy meetings between now and the end of the year, so. I think probably the thing that stands out the most that might be of interest is. We do 2-year budget cycles. I know a lot of you are familiar with that, but so we're almost halfway through the first year of a 2-year budget cycle, so. We'll take a look at kind of where we're at and what next year looks like, between now and the end of the year and figure out what adjustments we need to be made. So that's probably the biggest thing that I have on my radar, in terms of things that might be of interest. I think that is. That's all that I have on my list. It feels like maybe there should be some more, but I think we're gonna have heavy council meetings, so there's not as much in terms of, I think. Events and those sorts of things, as we kind of head into the holiday season, so. That's what I've got, unless anybody has any questions. All right. Okay, thank you.
There.
All right. All right, so I wanted to walk you through some of the changes that we made to the plan based on comments we got from our community members. We'll be presenting the revision on the 6th. However, we will not have council vote that night. We'll try to get it on the consent agenda at the next meeting. So after we go through the changes, we can decide if some of you want to help present or be at the table or do something different, just be there for the meetings. We got it here for just a minute, but I would like the goal for tonight is to get your recommendation on the plan. Because we may not have time between the council meetings, so.
I had 2 short notes,
Okay.
on page 43. I printed it out and I've gone through it line by line a couple of times, so.
Thanks.
Very thorough. If I student.
You're like the
I mean,
guy
I
who
was
had
in
the
other-
comprehensive plan.
I was
very
in,
impressed.
I was in other meetings doing it, but.
He was very, he's like, he was telling me that was the meeting, was well, you better sit next to me, if you have questions about that.
So, oh,
43. I have the red line version, so I'm not sure.
oh, I thought it was the red line version. It is 7.0 action plan as at the top. It says, it printed this page, oh, it might have been presentation slide 43. So,
Let's look for keyword.
yeah.
Oh,
7.0. So it says, update annual training plan annually with feedback from staff and the leadership team. I didn't know if there was another way to phrase that. This one, and I kept looking at it, I kept wanting to make it not annual sandwich
Oh,
between
annual,
training
yeah.
plan.
Update training. Speak training plan with that annually.
Mhm.
Good catch.
I think there might have been something in. Isn't there something in this first paragraph? I've gotten caught something in this before.
I think so. This time it read.
Well, are you concerned because under the action plan, it says. see. Require annual training, and so then he said, update annual training plan. But, so, well, I think it would just do it like that, right? Yeah. Which you already got this annual.
Did you have 2 comments?
I had a nope, and then my next one, it has 2 on the next page, which is CA 14 and CA 15.
PA. But what are the,
In compliance with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. Improve outreach and communication for peoples whose first language is not English or who don't speak English. Yeah, so in that one, under language is not English or who don't speak English, but there are people who speak English but don't read English. So I was wondering if we should add read.
speak or read?
Uh-huh. Speak and or read. And then in the line below that, under action plan, it has broadcast contract opportunities for local WMBE. And to define that term, in the action plan column, is to define the term. And that was all I found. But otherwise, I captured all the things that we've been talking about.
It's like I already gave my feedback in August and you already responded. I did not read it again after that.
Right,
Because this has updates from community
yeah.
output, which I thought was really helpful to read the community input and then your talking points addressing those issues.
Yeah, and I can go through those unless somebody else has a comment they want to share, so. So there's an appendix with all the comments. And summarize six. So, one just kind of reviewed the methodology we used for, marketing the poll and thing online, who responded, some of the demographics. More than half were white. Some people prefer not to disclose. More females than males. Most people were born in the US, but not everyone. And some people, fair number of people spoke other languages at home. So again, with the poll, we allowed people to make general comments about the plan. They could just say open-ended comment box about that. And then in the recommendations, the recommendations that were outwardly facing that would impact the public, I listed every single one, but it was a little bit brief, a little more summarized than what was in the plan. So if they didn't go back and read the plan, that's all the information they had. But I knew that reading the plan was a lot to ask for people, so it was a way to kind of get a high level understanding of what resonated with people. So they either could agree, disagree, or they had no preference or no opinion. So there weren't 5 categories. It was just like yay, nay, or I don't know. So almost in all but 2 of the 20 recommendations were above 50%, and 2 that weren't were hosting conversations and training about diversity, equity, and inclusion topics, and providing gender neutral bathrooms in all city buildings. So the first one is actually part of your mission, and we do it but we don't call it diversity, equity, inclusion training, right? Like we're hosting a reading, we're hosting a film, we're gonna have an event, right? So we can go to the recommendation and look at like the language in a minute. But I think maybe what was turning people off are like, some cities have done DEI training for community members. And I think that's where like the resistance was, like, what's racism, it's anti-racism, it's.
Like
federal.
what we did in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, influence.
Yeah, we had before, was this in 23, or I think, or 24, maybe it was early 24. We had some funding from council, we did citywide DEI training, and we invited all the boards and commissions and council to come. It was optional for the commissions, but
Non-paid employees.
I also think that a lot of people have that at their workplace. And so when they hear DEI, that just pops, that's what they think.
Well, either that or that it's hiring practices.
Right,
And it's so
exactly.
much more than,
That's, I mean, and we've told lots of people at tabling them, we don't even do that, you know.
so this is the same data in the bar chart. I got it. It wasn't that way in Excel, but you paste. And then this was a summary of some of the themes and open-ended comments. And I tried to respond to some of them just because we're gonna have conversations with city council about this. I want people to understand who took the time to review the poll and the plan, what we meant by certain things. So there's a whole page in here about those comments. You know, like who's included in the plan, and we never listed, we just basically said, you know. And I have to go back to the end of the word, but all the protected classes essentially are who we talk about. So, and then the demographic data included seniors and other folks, people with disabilities, and all the traditional demographics. For converting the restrooms to gender neutral, there was a lot of comments about like cost and so forth. I expected some other comments, but didn't see those. So again, just clarify, this is based on when we're doing a capital project and we have an opportunity. Sometimes it's as easy as changing a sign on a door, and other times it's not, and we understand that. So just when there's opportunities at hand, take advantage of them. And the other thing about gender neutral restrooms is sometimes there are opportunities for family changing in the restrooms. So there's multiple reasons why they're helpful. Ancestral land acknowledgements, we had at least 2 people who took the survey who claimed Indigenous heritage. Interestingly, one was okay with a land acknowledgement as long as it wasn't performative, and the other just thought it was meaningless. And so I think it's important, again, as we grow a relationship with this group we're meeting with, and hopefully others in the community, that we understand what is helpful and what can we do to support them. And so I'll continue doing that. There's a comment about addressing people with trauma, respect, with people who have trauma with respect, which we spent time covering in the community engagement plan. I think there's all sorts of kind of trauma that people are dealing with, and it's not like a protected class in the same way as the work that we're doing, but it is definitely something that we want to recognize as we do outreach and talk about services. But if you all have, again, if you have differing opinions or ideas about these, I'm not saying this is how it has to be in the plan, so feel free to make
I
comments.
just have a question about that one, because it seems so broad. Address people with trauma with respect. I guess I don't understand what that means. I mean, I understand, yes, of course, obviously, but why is that? How would that be done? Via community engagement, or how is it not being done, I guess?
Was this the comment from somebody who had very personal feelings about a specific incident and highlighted named people in their comment?
Okay.
So it needs to be addressed.
Yeah. But in community engagement, there are different communities who've gone through trauma. It could be they're a victim of violence. It could
Right.
be they're an immigrant who underwent hardships
Mhm.
to get here or had like trouble with their governments back home or
Mhm.
police back home or gangs or what have you. There could be just discrimination, all sorts of things, right? And so I think part of the community engagement practice, which we'll have more formal training on in January, hopefully, but we've talked about it when we wrote the community engagement plan, is just like, how do we welcome people into space?
Mhm.
So part of it is like, how do we break down that barrier of being the official government figure, being a police heavy organization, or you know, there's partly it's that, and then there's you're having a conversation with someone and they reveal some sort of hint of trauma,
Mhm.
like, well, I don't feel comfortable talking about that.
Mhm.
Maybe they tell you the details of something, right?
Right.
So how do you, as like for me, a staff person, for you, a volunteer supporting community engagement, hold yourself in a place where you can have that conversation and maybe not bring your own trauma to
Mhm.
the conversation, right?
Mhm.
Because when someone's sharing, we don't want them to feel like, oh, now I'm just gonna tell you my story, right?
Right.
Like, so just being like honoring that space for that person and it doesn't mean you have to be a counsel, right? It's just about
Right.
listening and being respectful and not trying to shoo someone away because like, oh my gosh, they're gonna be a difficult person in the room now.
Got it. Okay, thank you
So-
for adding color to that. I just felt kind of broad. I didn't mean to be callous. I just didn't understand like.
Yeah,
Seems
no,
like-
it's hard, like,
Yeah.
we had some conversations with the staff group about this as well, and they're like, but we're not mental health professionals, we're like,
Right.
no, it's like about treating people with dignity and respect, no matter what experience.
Yeah,
Respect.
yes, thank you.
There were a lot of people who, to be frank, just don't like DEI. And, definitely were some crude comments about, you know, don't be woke, this is a waste of money, isn't this illegal? And I just want to be clear that the federal government still requires some of these things, regardless of various things that have been revoked.
Well, and so does the state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so, so I acknowledge that in different parts of the plan. And also that these are council values, these are community values, they wouldn't be council values if they weren't community values, and that we're not, proposing a system of quotas. And this is about equity and not equality, so just trying to help explain. There was a concern about making sure we address people with various types of disabilities, which I feel like we did, but, obviously we can add more to that if you want.
Yeah, wasn't Terrace's granddaughter, or was it your daughter?
No, it was my granddaughter. Well, she lives in Briar, but she was talking about no sidewalks. Yeah.
But making, yeah, as buildings are improved within the city, there's requirements about sidewalks
Yeah.
outside. So that's why sometimes when you walk, you're like, there's no sidewalk. And then there's a new construction with a beautiful sidewalk, and then you're back to no sidewalk.
Right.
And so there's some intentionality that the city has some control over, like new construction,
Mm-hmm.
and
Not
not,
passing the cost to the citizens for something that the city should be taking care of. That's also. Yeah.
There's, yeah, we basically have $25,000 in our sidewalk budget, which builds you for ADA ramps.
so one intersection.
Yes, we should build sidewalks, but we don't have the funding.
I know that the thing is, if the city doesn't have the funds to do the sidewalk. Passing the cost to the citizen is not an equitable solution either.
Well, it's,
Because you're passing the responsibility you're privatizing. The business of sidewalk.
Well, yeah, you're saying that sidewalks are part of our values, and so new construction needs to have sidewalks.
Say it again?
It's saying that our values are to have sidewalks. So when there's an opportunity to add sidewalks because there's new construction.
And the cost is passed down to the citizen instead of the tax, instead of the city. That's what privatization, that's Not like,
You mean
because,
because it's added into the cost of the.
Yeah.
like-
yeah, so, and you're just basically preventing the citizen to do certain improvements in their house. If they wanna build a new one, added cost, you're just preventing people, like, it's just privatization, and it's not an equitable solution. Sorry.
I hear you. There was some comments, not just a comment about like focusing on celebrating diversity rather than talking about issues that incite discourse. And
I'm not sure, I completely understand, but.
I think it's sort of like having a cultural celebration rather than a training about DEI.
Oh.
I think there's like, I think we try to address that in the work that we do and that we try to bring people together around common things. But that we're also not afraid to have the hard conversation if we need to, so.
Oh, maybe what they're saying is celebrate the diversity, just don't say blacks are oppressed. Like, I think that's what they're saying, celebrate the diversity without pointing out.
The historical context of why we're celebrating it.
I'm not saying
Right,
that's what
so-
I think that's what, I'm just trying to understand what they're saying.
Yeah, so I think some of this has, so there's specific things that the city can do, and that our commission can do, like we can recommend proclamations and we can invite people to come and receive them. And we can't dictate what they say when they accept the proclamation. And that's not what we're trying to do.
Mhm. I know, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand what that's, I'm
Yeah.
interpreting that sentence,
Well,
because.
there wasn't a lot of background or
Oh.
context,
Mhm.
but I think there are people who, you know, don't like to have uncomfortable discourse.
Then don't join the discourse, I don't.
I think there's some people who, to your point, don't want to acknowledge that people are suffering right now. Whether it's
Wasn't this one of our concerns about the sugarcane documentary, like,
Yeah.
how are people gonna react, well, if you don't like it, don't come, like.
Mhm.
Yeah,
maybe-
people are gonna get offended just by seeing something advertised anyway.
Yeah, it's like, and people who get offended tend to call other people snowflakes. But they themselves get offended, it's like, I personally don't care about offending people. No,
No, but-
my point is like, there's nothing we can do about that one.
But I think there's somebody said there, maybe not in as many words, but I do think the idea of make me happy, but don't make me uncomfortable
yes.
is a very difficult, because I don't know what your line is, I don't know where you're drawing the line.
Right.
These topics have a wide range of where they are discussed, right? And not all of it is happy and not all of it is will make you uncomfortable. But the idea of drawing that line is really it's sort of your, like you said, don't come, don't read. If it's going to be that difficult, because discourse shouldn't hurt your feelings. Discourse is a discussion. It really is. And some discussion is challenging and uncomfortable. And so yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, and I agree to the extent that it's not a line that you can't, any of
You're
us
not
could just
responsible for
draw.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well-
we can't know.
right.
And DEI is necessary because uncomfortable things happen to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we need to acknowledge that people exist, that they have meaning, that they, you know, and sometimes that means that there were bad things that happened.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
And there's a lot of privilege that comes with being able to say, I'm offended by that, so I don't wanna watch that, I don't wanna
Right.
see that. But
yeah,
people
yeah.
who experience that don't.
They don't have a choice. So they don't have a choice. That's what.
I'm with you, we're all the same.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I'm
like, I don't know why you joined, so we were,
Yeah, I wanted to go to the next somebody got canceled, so,
Okay, so
yeah.
that was one of the things, like, oh, people are just gonna be like, oh, this is uncomfortable, then it's also uncomfortable that people went through it.
Exactly.
I think that that's one thing that I appreciated about the film was that they were really raw about how horrible it was for people.
And they did not promote hatred in the documentary.
No,
They did not
No.
talk about.
No.
no, it was
Right.
about how terrific
Yeah.
the experience was for these people. And so.
And it showed some of the trying to make, not amends, but try to work through it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I just think it was a really impactful movie, but.
And in our defense, we've done a lot of celebration and happy stuff, right? We've
Yeah,
recommended
we
tons.
absolutely like all the time.
In our defense.
It's not always that it's tough, but life sucks, so we need to talk about the sucky part
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And definitely if we are, if there is something said or pushed forward that we may not realize, or one of us may not realize could be offensive, absolutely, it should be brought up, and maybe we should either, talk about it in a different way or not bring that here. But the idea that somehow everything falls into one of these two categories and we should only do the one.
Yeah.
I don't know how we function with that as a guy.
And we'll go through how, just a couple minor edits I made to the recommendations to address some of these in a minute.
Yeah.
The last item was about the term limits for commission and council. More than 50% of the people were in favor. But there were some very specific comments that were against the term limits. There's a feeling, even among some of the council members who've been talking to the city manager about, a benefit of not having term limits is we have people on some of our commissions who have a lot of experience and they bring a lot of history to the commissions. There's groups that know how the city operates, know how to put on certain events and so forth. So I would love your opinion about whether to keep it in there, and it's very explicit in the recommendation that this is council's decision. We can't take that away from council. This is just something we heard from the community and we're bringing it to their attention. So
I think it's good for the council to have a discussion about term limits and be on record sharing their opinions and their values in that, in regards to term limits. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think we should ask them to have that conversation. And by putting it in the plan, that's hopefully the message we're sending and not saying you have to do it.
Well, and also, nobody's saying a term limit would be 2 years. Maybe it would be 5 years, or maybe it would.
2 terms, like not.
Or 2, yeah,
But how long is our term?
3.
3, yeah, or 2 terms, or
Okay.
3 terms, or something like that, and not just, like, well, you can only do 1 or something. I mean, but you're right, Benita, it's like worth having a discussion about, and why do people have concerns about that? I mean, this needs to be.
I have not seen the comments, but I am pro term limits to create opportunity for people, so I think we should leave it there. And also regarding the concern about how, that's a valid concern when people learn the city and all of a sudden their term ends. But that term is for one commission. You can apply for the other commission, or you can, what are we forming, committee?
Yeah.
Like you can join a committee. You can still be around. It's not like they're saying your term is up, go die. Like you can still be around.
Yeah.
But I think it creates more opportunity for people, especially like now that you're telling us that 15 people applied for the committee. That means there are people interested.
Yeah.
Right.
And honestly, I know Councilmember Murray's on the selection committee for boards and commissions, and I know you had mentioned like it would be nice for people who didn't get selected to have this other opportunity. Interestingly, I don't think any of them applied.
Fascinating.
But we still had 15 other people that were interested. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, but okay, so I just wanted to show you how I made a few little edits to the recommendations to try to provide more context or address the comments that were made by people. So for the community engagement, kind of addressing the trauma, I added follow the community engagement plan strategies for conducting community engagement activities with an equity lens, and ensure that people most impacted by decisions are invited to make to the decision-making process and can participate and understand.
Oh, I missed that one.
How do you maybe I moved this to sentences. And staff, I think this needs to be something sentence.
Yes.
So staff understand how to design engagement opportunities for people who.
Maybe the longest sentence I've ever read.
It's not gonna be very Amazon stuff.
Not long.
I worked there for 4 years.
Oh, good.
I didn't have it style.
Yeah, but it's good, it's good, because it's all necessary, but like,
Yeah.
it goes.
All right, so instead of requesting that council revise the city code, say consider revising the city code to limit the term of office for commission and council. Said the action is for council to discuss, they don't have to make a decision. And again, if implemented, it would be interesting to evaluate how many people end up serving on boards and commissions over the years compared to previous times. And ideally, how many of them end up running for city council? I mean, it is a great pipeline in a lot of cities for people to.
People running this time.
Gender neutral bathrooms, just add a little more about remodeling. New buildings. Addressing that some changes are minor and others are much more significant. About translation and interpretation, again, this is in compliance with federal law. I wanted to make it really clear on the recruiting efforts, again, that this wasn't about quotas. This is really about just marketing and like, how do we make sure people who aren't already in the government system know about jobs that we have and understand, help people understand like how their skills translate so that we can recruit new and interesting kinds of candidates. Similarly with contracts, but that's another one. Added a little more context about how to work with our Indigenous community to decide on next steps in supporting them, whether it's in land acknowledgement or something else. And okay, this is the one about hosting conversations about DEI. So I changed it to say host conversations and share information that facilitate a better understanding of diversity and to celebrate and respect individual differences. If you don't like that, we can change it.
Like it.
So those were the recommendation changes, and I did add a little more context to the introduction. Also. So, people were getting a little lost in the plan, so I wanted to just in the info say the recommendations are in section 7, so they can jump right to it if they want. And also just say that this plan was written in compliance with local, state, and federal laws, the city council's values, our municipal code, the comp plan, the community engagement plan, and listed a few citations. And really just that last sentence is just trying to summarize that we're trying to make an equitable place to live and engage with local government. I just added a little sentence about that we ask for help feedback. Those were the main comments. Are there any other thoughts or suggestions? It's good. All right. No. Madam Chair, can we have a motion to recommend to the city council
Listen,
I move that we recommend to city council that they adopt our diversity, equity, and inclusion plan.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Mhm.
All right. Under proclamations, we talked about this the last month, I added in full recommendation.
Just wanted to have another opportunity to think about, like, do we want to take anything off the list? Do we want to add anything to the list? Are we good with how it looks?
Is there anything that we have not recognized in the last few years? I feel like, I don't think the thing I've been genuinely asking. So I know we added the Nowruz is new,
Yes.
Children's Day is kind of
Mhm.
like just new. But the second part is if we want to add something, we will have to remove something.
And
I want to merge Native American Heritage Month and Orange Short.
yeah, that was one of the things that we were
Mhm.
kind of talking about. Like this year, we decided not to do Native American Heritage Month because we did Orange Shirt Day.
Mhm.
So if that's the will of the group, we can do that.
Will that allow an additional proclamation? If we merge them? Do we have a quota, an annual proclamation?
We were, well, we were.
You proclaim things every.
No comments, you have to talk to.
But if you do too many, then they can lose
Yes,
value.
I know.
Yes.
too. Because I don't remember the decision that we made as like let's keep it with this number, right?
I think originally we were shooting for around a dozen.
Okay, that
like
makes sense.
One a month or two, you know, a couple times it's twice a month, just
Mhm.
because, like,
Yeah,
Because the holidays scooch together.
yeah.
So there's 16 on there if you count the American Heritage Month.
However, like,
15 without it.
we already do Constitution Week, and we were talking about, like, can we highlight voter registration day? Do we combine it in the same proclamation, or do we do them separately? Like, that's just a question. I mean, certainly we could write it differently if that's something people wanted to do.
How would that be?
Can you tell me what it is when something is proclaimed, what does that mean?
Oh.
What happens?
Oh,
Yeah. Do you want to?
no, you're from the city, you do it.
You're from the city too, Tim.
It's a proclamation to acknowledge, the event group. So the city acknowledges the existence, celebration of,
Okay,
kind of thing.
Symbolic.
If, it's symbolic, and in the proclamation, usually there's a pretty descriptive part about why it's being. And then we try to pick somebody for whom it's
Relevant,
well,
pertinent,
that's
yeah.
what you guys coming up with, but
Yeah.
it's even more than that.
Who received the proclamation as a symbolic gesture. Like, for example, if it's like Ramadan proclamation, we invited the mosque
Right.
and we just like symbolically gave the proclamation to the mosque.
Or on
I
Orange
am-
Shirt Day, we had the Indigenous Student Union.
I see,
Kids
okay,
come, yeah.
thank you.
So it's like a one page, kind of a very formal, whereas.
Yeah.
And, but like, it's an opportunity to share like history or something about the significance of the commemorative date.
Cool, okay.
And I always think about the story that William tells about when they decided to take the Hispanic Heritage Month one around to all the restaurants that are owned by Hispanic families, and how hugely that was received. People were, and how they would put it up on their wall, and so it's a really, I mean, for these communities, it's a really significant recognition
Got it, okay,
of their
thank you.
importance in the community.
It's non-binding, but there's an argument saying because it's non-binding, it's no value, but it's giving some visibility to the people who feel invisible. And sometimes we combine them with events. For example, Children's Day, we actually have children's event here.
Yeah, and a couple times, like, we've had like the first time we had the members of the mosque come, for the proclamation, we had a meet and greet right before council started with just like some light refreshments in the lobby, and we asked council to come early just to meet the leadership from the masjid. And so we've done that a couple times.
Yeah, we've done a few things with them.
It builds trust. It actually did build trust.
And then does it get, so after that happens, then it's posted and shared out?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on space should show. That's so cool. Okay.
MLT News usually does that, a feature.
Okay,
And then we get comments on Facebook saying this is a waste of.
of course.
Okay, so
So I cannot think of anything to add, but the merging the orange shirt and Native American might be efficient. I kind of like that voter and constitution to stick together to make a point. Saying the.
Yeah.
Try not to get too political here.
Mhm.
That might. I think keeping it together is a good option. We did not, did we do the disability pride this year?
Yes.
I don't remember.
we did.
Everything is merging. right?
Was that, did we do that? Who accepted the woman who came and talked to us?
Oh, yes,
Arc-
that
from
lady.
Arc of Snow.
Yes, I'm
Right,
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
Benita, how are you feeling about combining voter registration and constitution, or would you like them separate?
No, I think it would be fine to combine them, except that I think that your daughter's the American Revolution person would be grumpy, but I can talk to her.
Oh,
She was friends with my
That's-
grandma and she always called her my mom, so I know her.
oh.
That's what kind of.
What's the
Is
concern?
if we want different people, like,
Yeah.
you know, legal women voters, you think of them when you think about voting rights. And so, yeah, I mean, do those two things belong with the
They
same,
can be separate.
Recipient?
I mean, they can be separate.
They can,
Yeah.
They
but
are,
honor them on the same day, maybe to,
yeah, they are the same thing.
Oh,
yeah.
is voter rights thing about
National
the
Voter
black
Registration
people not being
Day.
able to vote? Is that what it is?
No, it's-
It was the
it's-
concern about combining them. Why would they be unhappy? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, because I would want to invite more people to be involved
Mhm.
and the DAR counts on it, kind of, for their tracking to be engaged in the community, and it's an easy win, 'cause she's been here for so long.
We had a new person this year.
Did you? Oh.
It's true, we did. I don't remember her name, but I can get it. Yeah.
It's recorded. I can go find it.
I mean, the more the merrier, maybe that's our largest turnout of the year is that proclamation for.
I would love to invite, like Washington Immigration Solidarity Network or our Rapid Response Team to receive the Constitution Week proclamation, because it's about human rights within the country that are guaranteed in our Constitution. And I think that that's an important thing to highlight,
No, I'm not.
except that it's going to be next year. And it will be interesting to see what happens with voter registration and rights, because oh, I forgot the acronym, but the SAVE Act may change who is allowed to vote. And so then,
Yeah.
yeah. But maybe they could both receive it. Maybe more the merrier.
Yeah.
More people can receive proclamations in one group.
I'm just looking at the.
Yeah.
Because we have welcoming, I guess there's the question, right? Like, do we, and we can decide in the next month or two if we want to keep welcoming week or not, but
I wonder if we could make welcoming week look different, if we could somehow connect with people who are new to Mountlake Terrace.
Yeah, but how are we going? Or maybe like new home purchases? That's the only way I can think of. And that was like stalking, basically.
Welcome wagon.
Yeah.
I could probably tell.
Oh,
Okay,
Would
yeah.
that be
If
legal
there's
for you to?
some way for us to
Well,
reach out.
We usually send them a welcome kit Like there's
Oh,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
there's a flyer we put together a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we've handed those out on tape and stuff.
I have to ask, but I'll check.
But maybe it could be something. It's something to think about, of a way to shift welcoming week to be welcoming to people who are newer to the community. And maybe then it wouldn't make sense to do in September because we have all the events in the summer that brings everyone together into our community.
Well, and we still don't know if there's gonna be a replacement for Tour de Terrace, so I mean, does that mean there's room for something?
Yes. Yeah, like I mentioned, I think Andrew Applewick I think he's contemplating an RFP to ask for community groups to come do something in the summer, like a multicultural event or something else, but kind of just letting people know we're here, we have space. Come do your
A night
event
market.
in Mountlake, yes. And that is something that's been on the table. They are expensive to put on.
Yeah.
And the thing is, to get food vendors to come, you have to show that you have the people.
Right.
So, but in Redmond, I started a night market there and we started with like 3 food trucks. And by the time I left, we had like 20.
Does Brian know that?
Wow.
I didn't know that you started a night market.
Does the
My
mayor-
team
does
did,
the-
it wasn't me.
Even still, what
But it was over $25,000 a night.
Oh, be careful where you say that.
Yeah,
It is Redmond.
it was Redmond.
Yeah.
It did get cut in budget eventually, but yeah, it's a lot. I mean, to make it a there, right? So anyway, sorry, I
Maybe it
revealed.
would require a spot.
Sorry, I just was like a night market.
for March, for the Nose event,
Uh-huh.
if I find the people who would be performing, if I reach out to the community because there's so many nationalities celebrating that holiday, would the city of Mountlake Terrace be interested in collaborating so that I can get this high school? And then there will be performances.
That sounds like a great connection that we should make with Q. About coordinating with the high school and the student unions there. There's a couple of different groups. And she was talking about the
Flag, assembly.
yeah, the assembly for multicultural assembly that they're gonna do in like January. Um,
Would that need
so
to be-
because when you have a partnership with the school, then your cost for the room is different.
Oh, now you're speaking my
Yeah.
language.
We got there.
Now, if you say they give you snacks, then it will be even better.
You get
No,
to bring the snacks.
There's no food in the auditorium, only bottled water.
Oh, I see. And just so you know, this is strategically placed here. No, like, I always complain about how there's no food. I should put this here so I can just keep eating and shut up.
You wanna hand me the pretzels?
That
though?
Which one?
Pretzels, thank you.
That might be something I would feel about.
Mhm.
It would be kind of nice for us some of us to attend that.
Mhm.
The January thing?
Yes,
Yeah, I
it
did.
sounds fantastic. I keep hearing how fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, great.
yeah, I don't know if that.
Not from my kid, she doesn't do it at that house. She goes to the quiet room every time.
Oh. Well, I'll take her place.
Yeah, I like that idea. We can, I'll put you in mind.
Yeah, because there will be at least 3 celebrations in March in the Seattle area. Probably that theater will not be able to accommodate everyone, but I can just steal a few people from each event.
Yeah, and there's nothing in Snohomish County that you know?
No, it usually is in they 2 communities usually rent Shoreline Community College on different dates because they're competing. And the other one is usually in Bellevue, but at least we can create a subgroup of it because it's usually like a Thanksgiving here, like what people eat until they throw up. So I know that the theater is not going to work for that, but that could be like performances.
Yeah.
And we still have time to think about that.
Do we think for AA and HPI once we do an event again, or what are your thoughts?
I'd be more than happy to be involved again on that.
I thought that was really nice of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't decide whether to do this in the staff report. I think it belongs better here. We did get a request and I shared this with council the other night. But there wasn't discussion about it. We had a request from a staff member from Mountlake Terrace Elementary, Bridget Halfker. Halfker, I guess said that one. She facilitates the Kindness Leaders Clubs, specifically the LGBTQAI plus club, and there are two others, the BIPOC club and the Neurodiverse club. And the 5th and 6th graders who sign up for those clubs, they are allowed to recommend a field trip. And this year they asked to meet with the city council and the DEIC.
Oh, wow.
And I was just thinking, like, we had talked a little bit about, could we do something during the day of Children's Day that is more about learning about government? You know, some of our council members work, so I don't know if that we need to have, how we do that. Like, is it okay if we have a couple representatives from council? Does all the council want to be involved? So the timing, we'd have to figure that out, but just wondered if that was like a good time to do that, or maybe it's something
It'd be
different.
cool if we just had them sit at the council chairs.
Yeah, we could have a little reception. Yeah, at the beginning.
I think they want a little more engagement. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
at just a meeting.
Yes.
Prior to the actual engagements.
Yeah.
It can have a couple of hours. and
That would be
that.
fun to do like at civics, like a, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I could talk to the leadership team, the staff leadership team about whether we could help with, like a miniature version of the NLT community academy.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, yeah, you call 911.
But make it more engaging.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't want to just speak at them the whole time. But even the council members could lead those conversations instead of staff. So, I don't know, we'll have to figure out how to talk to council about that.
Do you want me to do something there? Do you want me to take that as an ask back to council?
Yeah, maybe just ask them in your report.
They want to be involved and if they could have daytime availability
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah. And then the amount of time is flexible, right? Like, I could write this person back and figure out what time they have for a field trip. So
We
we
know the ages.
5th and 6th
Fifth and
graders, 9 and 10.
I have a 6th grade.
Yeah.
It's late.
Yeah, so, that's great. Okay, anything, so I think the only change so far I see on this list is we're replacing Native American Heritage Month with Every Child Matters Day. Right now, everything else we proposed would be the same, and a couple of these items, you know, came like Holy Week and Constitution Week came from City Council. I feel like it's okay, but are you guys comfortable?
Do we need a motion to accept the proclamation list for 2026?
Motion to accept the proclamations for 2026.
I second.
All in favor? All opposed? We've accepted proclamations for 2026.
And bummed about the movie.
About what?
Talking about the movie. Yeah. Oh, everybody got a chance to see it though.
All right, we are on to the selections.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Excited to hear.
So we met on our meeting date, because three of us were available and came anyways. And so I think all of our interviews are scheduled. I did have a question though. If one of our three are unavailable for one of the dates, does that mean, what does that mean?
Well, the way Jennifer's runs the board and commission is.
Oh,
that
I see her
the-
response.
Yes,
I didn't see her response before. I see it now.
yeah, ideally we'd have the same people doing
Mhm.
the interviews.
Okay. So, Yo's not available for one of the dates. Our meeting dates are. This is a very long email string.
Thursday, right? The 30th, the 5th, and the 6th, or the 4th?
Yes,
Yeah.
Thursday, the 30th, Tuesday, November 4th, and Wednesday, November 5th, from 6 to 7:30. And there's 11 that we're interviewing.
I know I'm not available on the 30th.
Thirtieth, fourth, and sixth,
And 5th,
fifth.
5th, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And what was the time again?
6 to 7:30. The last person starting at 7:30, so it'd be
I
6 to
can-
8.
Do the fifth, but we said we want the same people to do everything, right?
Yeah, and I can't do the 30th.
I still think it's okay to do two.
Is it just one of the days she can't?
Mhm.
Would she still be able to participate on the other days or? No, just you can.
It's
Well,
not as
it's not-
equitable.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just was clarifying.
Mhm. What does your calendar look like?
30, and then what?
30, 4th and 5th. 6 to 8.
I wouldn't make 30, sorry.
Okay, well, I'll see if Scott's available, and otherwise we could just do 2. Yeah. Okay. I have a question about, since we're looking at the calendar, it reminded me, the strategic plan being presented to council on Thursday, November 6th. Is that, do you think that will be very early in their agenda, or will it be at the end of the
I
agenda?
asked for it to
Yes.
be near the top.
Okay.
I think we're second
Okay,
at 3.
okay.
I'm
I'm
not
teaching-
buying it this time.
I'm teaching in, I'm teaching in class in Seattle, from 6, starting at 6, so I don't think I'll make it.
Oh, okay.
I'm available.
Do you want to help with the presentation or
I
do you
can, I
want
mean, I have
to?
the other,
What time to start?
7. Well, the meeting starts at 7. We probably won't be up
Yeah.
for.
7:30,
But it won't be
depends
10
on how many public comments there are.
Right.
Yeah, just let me know if you want to be part of the presentation so I gotta figure out the slides this week. I can. And if you can also just be there for support. You don't have to sit at the.
I can be there either way.
yeah, I'll just plan to be there, whatever you want.
Yeah,
Whatever's most helpful.
Okay, sounds good.
And since Scott is not here, we can assign everything to.
Well, hopefully.
I already told him that in his absence, we'll assign everything to.
I can help or support.
And then reviewing it, if it goes on the consent agenda, would that be on the 13th?
It would be at the next regular meeting, so it'd be the 3rd.
The 3rd, the 20th.
We have a meeting?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Thanksgiving's the 27th, so it would be on the 20th?
Yes.
Okay, I can be here for that one. I'd like to come and make a comment. I
Okay.
think it would be really good if all of us could come and make a public comment as personal citizens to support the strategic plan.
It's a good idea.
And I'll
Wait,
get it
are you
posted
allowed
sooner.
to, isn't that conflict of interest?
You are allowed to be a personal citizen. You can also represent the commission, because we, as a commission, have agreed to do this. It would be not kosher if we said, no, we're not gonna do this, and then you went and said, well, I'm on the DEI commission and I think we should do it anyways, as your public comment. And that I'm representing the commission.
Are we sure about that?
Mhm.
Huh? There should be a law against it.
There is, there's,
What?
there's protocol about doing what Benita just said, like you're not allowed to speak on behalf of the commission if the commission hasn't voted to allow you to do that. So,
Okay.
but you can always go up there as a community member.
That's a council meeting on the 20th.
Mhm.
What time is that?
7. And public comments are usually pretty early.
And if you want to do it, if you want to make a comment online, register 24 hours in advance with the city clerk.
Yeah.
When she says really early, like, I mean, literally, they're usually done by like 7:05 if there's not a lot of fun. So.
Really?
Yeah, so like, yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And even though we're making public comments as a community member, can we say that we're part of the thing and worked on it and are happy
Mhm.
with what it's doing?
Yeah.
We can say that?
Yeah. Cause we voted to recommend it.
So I can speak as a community member, but also as someone who's part of the DEI. Okay.
Mhm. And if you know anybody who has served on the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Commission in the past, it would be great to invite them because their work has also informed all of this work. And so I'm reaching out to the folks that I know.
We acknowledge them on the front
Yes.
page.
Yeah, so if, look at the list and see if you know anybody and harass them. I mean, invite.
I don't harass people.
But you stop them.
I'm a very, very nice person.
I think. Oh, did you want to talk about the applicants at all? I mean, you don't have to name
yeah.
names, but if there's themes or numbers that you'd like to share.
We made a lot of applicants. And it was really kind of hard. We like gave them points on a scale. And then we merged it all together and then we said, well, who has the most points? And then we're just gonna automatically assume we all like those ones and we should interview them. And then we started going through people, to see, like, we can't interview everyone who applied, but we almost wanted, there were a lot that we wanted to interview. And then,
I think you're interviewing like 12 out of 15 or something.
mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was somebody who, yeah, I'm excited.
Did you find out about the Linwood person, if they're a Linwood resident?
Yes.
If they're Linwood?
Well, no, they're Mountlake Terrace.
And they're
And she wants to volunteer here.
Okay,
So she's on your list.
Okay,
believe.
I thought I recognized that name. Is our person that submitted their application in Spanish?
I don't think she responded to Jennifer. She
You
did
don't?
at first,
Mhm.
so we know that she was getting emails.
Okay.
Or I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember. Mhm. But I didn't
don't
see their name.
on there right now.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, we had some really enthusiastic people with lots of different kinds of experience.
Mhm.
And the position, we have 5.
We don't have a number.
No.
We still don't have a number?
We can just take however many would make sense
Army of
to
11.
advise, to participate in our, to serve community. So it wouldn't make sense to have like 8 people from one group come and be all community ambassadors, but we have a pretty diverse
We do?
age grouping of people with different backgrounds and experiences and ages. There's a couple stay-at-home mom type people, and there's working families, and there's
High school student.
a high school student
I think maybe a retired.
and retired people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the challenge was trying to understand like what people's time commitments were, because we said the minimum was 4 events in a year.
Hmm.
So if there were a lot of people who were like, yeah, I can do the minimum, but they're enthusiastic, then maybe we need a few more people. Then if like we had 5 people who were like, I'm retired, I can like work all day, just give me an assignment, you know?
Hmm.
So I think there's both,
Mhm.
like, the diversity of candidates and their experiences, and then there's like people's time commitments.
Mhm.
So we may not, bring everybody on, but I think that will be the hard decision. And we can decide, I'm sure we'll learn through this process, like what a manageable group size is.
I just hope we do not discourage people, because if it doesn't work out and we have to say no to certain people, and there's nothing we can do about it, I guess, but.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping we love everybody and there's diversity within it and it all just works.
Mhm.
Or they decide, oh, wait, this isn't a good fit. And that decision is really obvious in the
Well,
interview
sometimes
process.
people will do that during the
Mhm.
interview process.
I've done that in an
Yeah.
interview. I'm like, I'm not who you're looking for.
Once they've joined, right?
Right.
Then
Yeah.
people would naturally kind of fall off, so that's why I
Right.
have a bigger pool to kind of start
Yeah.
from.
The other thing as a committee we talked about last time was, because we're out of sync with the boards and commissions recruitment, to see if they can volunteer for 18 months. So that would be like January through the next July, because we won't even have time to train them, and then all of a sudden it'll be recruitment season for
Oh,
boards and
true.
commissions.
Yeah.
So then, and then we'll recruit more in 27.
Yeah.
So my time is up next June. How do I get rid of this commission? How do you get myself removed?
Talking about right now.
Term limiting yourself.
Just so you know, I was appointed because they didn't have any other candidate.
That is not true.
Maybe I'll just become.
Here's the guy who's taking
Right?
nothing. Oh, sorry, we give him a hard time here. We don't give everyone a hard time. just-
Yeah, I know, like, that's my trauma.
You
like-
started it. You started it.
All right, so we should
It's
pause.
a lot longer.
Yeah. All right, we have, is that everything we want to share about community
Um,
services?
I think so.
Yeah, we locked down interview
Yeah.
questions and we're
Yeah.
good to go.
Okay,
Yeah, feel good.
all right.
So now we're gonna have the commissioner and chair reports. Would you like to start, Brian?
Who want to start, Corona? When was the last time we met? I need to check.
September 15th
The 50th.
was forever ago. I have 2 pages of notes.
Okay, September 15th, so it was up to that. I joined the Turk Fest in October, performed music for 40 minutes, and it was too much. And I'll talk on Kio's behalf as well. Kio also performed, for a different group, for the same festival. I also, for the first time in my life, performed in a theater play. Not as an actor, but as a musician for the play. It was about women in Near East, starting from ancient Greek times to modern era. I think that's all.
You attended welcoming week too.
Oh, wasn't that before?
No, we have not met.
It was the 20th, wasn't it?
Yep.
Of September.
It's been a long time. Yes, I did attend the welcome. Oh, I performed at the welcoming event.
Yes, you did.
Nope.
Yes, I did perform at the welcoming event, and I really like Kermit's speakers. Also, 4 friends of mine and we started the Azerbaijani language school in Washington State for the first time in Washington State history. We had our 3rd class.
Wow.
Wow,
So that just feels amazing, but
exciting.
overwhelming. I think that's it.
So who are your classmates? Or like, who are the students?
Children of ethnic Azerbaijanis in Washington State who do not want their kids to lose their culture.
Is it in person?
Yes,
Great.
because it doesn't really work with
Right.
children online.
Yeah.
Where are you holding?
What?
I mean, COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think teaching language to children. It has a physical component too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where I don't like dealing with children. I like doing things for children. It's just I provide the logistics. I just don't like talking to them. So I was hoping they would just like not make me come into the classroom, but like last week the teacher was like, "Can you please come and teach a children's song?" And I was like, "Why, Johnny?" First I had to learn it myself, and I learned how to play with the accordion, and then I think someone's phone is ringing. Ah, it's yours. Um, yeah, I think that. Oh, and this weekend I'm performing at the Republic Ball for the Turkish community.
Wow. Are you gonna wear a tuxedo or some kind of native?
They told me that there's a dress code.
Mhm.
Then I said I will not play. They said, no, you're playing anyway. And I said, I'll get naked on stage.
Oh.
And then they said, well,
Recording.
I know, because I just hate dressing up. So they're just like giving me their jacket. They're giving me the jacket, so I just shut up.
Thank you for it.
I was gonna traumatize them.
Priya.
I can't follow that. I met with the community ambassador, the committee, I guess, the committee, and so, going through that process was great, like filtering or, scoring the applicants and then setting up that process and getting to meet, with the committee was super helpful. We were really able to utilize the commission's normal time to get a lot of stuff done, and then finalize the interview questions. So I'm really looking forward to those interviews starting this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it. That's me.
Thanks, Priya.
Mhm.
Herman.
I was a part of and attended Welcome Week, which was a blast, and good to hear that my sound system got compliments. And I also was part of the community conversation at the Waterfront Center, and that was great. And may not be the most relevant thing, but a few weeks ago, I watched the Mountlake Terrace High School football team, who is undefeated going to the playoffs. That hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I read the headline today.
They're undefeated. It's amazing.
They beat Edmonds Woodway 45-7.
Wow. Yeah. And Benita.
So I did Friday Constitution reading, so 9/19 at the Girl Scout Effort Office. We did a Constitution reading with some students from Mountlake Terrace, ended up being our primary audience. So we had 3 students from Mountlake Terrace elementary or schools, elementary, middle, and high school. Welcoming week. Chris and I went and saw Seth's, and that was really cool. And then, I'm sorry?
What did you say?
Seth's, the musical on Fifth Avenue. The Seth's about women's suffrage. And because it was a Girl Scout event, I got notified that they were doing an interview panel beforehand. So we went early and we got to hear some of the context of the film or of the show from local groups. And so that was really, really cool. I attended, one of the things you had shared about Shoreline was reimagining behavioral health, race and equity social justice conference. And so that was September 25th and 26th. And so that was all virtual, and I have lots of notes. And I actually went back and rewatched a couple of the presentations to take better notes on. So that was really good. About youth-centered crisis response, how harm reduction efforts empower community resilience, and transforming relationship and practices of belonging were the ones that stood out the most. And then we attended Indigenous Proclamation Day. Attended the community conversation with the senior center. And then that night I went to band book bingo. So that was over in Edmonds, but it was celebrating band book week. On October 6th, I went to LETI, the Latino Education Training Institute. There was a presentation that they did with the Red Cross, and then I taught hands-only CPR to, I think we had 6 people in person and 25 people online. So we're presenting that. On the 8th, I got to help Terrace Park with their wolf walk. And then the 9th, I went to Hilltop and helped them set up for their fun run. And then I went to Mountlake Terrace Elementary and did vision and hearing screenings for the day. On October 12th, we had CERT training, and that was here at City Hall. And so I got to be one of the survivors. You're not supposed to call them victims. If somebody calls you a victim, you're supposed to like throw stuff at them. But you're a survivor when the team comes and finds you. And they dragged me out. They found me in the bathroom here at City Hall and dragged me out and triaged me. So some local people, but also people from our surrounding community were able to attend. So I'm really excited that partnership is happening. And then we got to come clean blood. I forgot about the fake blood that was that I meant to message Carolyn about. So we went and scrubbed this.
I wouldn't have found it if you didn't.
And then on October 13th, I went to Meadowdale High School and we did voter registration during their lunch. And then I went to Spruce Elementary for their vision and hearing screening. Economics of Alliance of Snohomish County had a webinar about advancing public safety and wellness. And it was focused on the city of Everett, but it was a really interesting presentation about the way that the city is collaborating with community transit and with local mental health outreach and support for people in the community who are unhoused or who are facing substance abuse issues. And so I keep looking to see if they've posted the recording yet, because I know they recorded it and they haven't. So once that does get posted, I'm going to share it out. And then on the 15th of October, I helped teach a civics class at Meadowdale High School, 2 classes on voting rights and civic engagement and why they should care about politics. And then I went to Westgate Elementary to help with their vision and hearing screening. And I attended an ACLU Know Your Rights presentation. And then we reviewed the Community Ambassador program. On October 16th was League of Women Voters meeting. There's a presentation from the rapid response team from Mountlake Terrace, and we participated in the Great Shakeout. Not that they wanted to, but the library was doing it and made us evacuate. So we all got to practice evacuating. And then this past Saturday, I spent 5 hours in Everett. And I got to knock on and talk to 40 families and 100 people in their homes about how to make sure that you have an escape plan, that you practice it, know where your meeting spot is, check your smoke detectors. And then the leading cause of home fires are cooking, like leaving cooking unattended, space heaters, and electrical extension cords. And so making sure that those things are all safe in your own homes. It's really important because 7 people a day die in home fires across the US. So that is a big thing.
Oh.
Okay.
History, so we went out of town. There you go.
I'm exhausted. typing.
Well, I think I can rest this out.
Very nice.
Welcoming week, I went to welcoming week. And was Orange Shirt Day also within that time or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it was.
Yeah,
Okay,
September 3rd.
I was at Orange Shirt.
Yes.
Shirt Day. And then the other thing is I've continued to do my volunteer work at the food bank. And Carla comes out now on Mondays and has a little meeting to share with us what's going on. For one thing, I'll tell you, last week, well, I wasn't there last week, but the week before, we did not get as much produce from the stores because they're not buying as much produce. So that's a little scary. Also, on the other side of that is there is a noticeable increase in the number of people coming. So all of that is happening and it's kind of scary.
Yes.
Yeah, what we do is we wait for the trucks to come in, so we sort all the vegetables and stuff, and then we were doing a lot more waiting than sorting this week. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we heard from council member Woodard that VOA and some of the local food banks are very empty.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. It's scary that the stores are decreasing what they're buying, so they have not as much leftover stuff too. So
Yeah. All right.
okay.
Just a couple of quick Oh. I haven't. With slides, anyway. We had two staff members attend the People's Institute of Survival and Beyond training,
Oh, good.
training last week. Touch base with one, but I haven't been able to touch base with the other yet, but I'm excited. And I think Shoreline's gonna have a debrief like that we had before. I won't be able to attend, but I'm hoping that at least one of the staff members will. And then our comms person, Sienna, she helped organize a vaccination clinic here on Friday for uninsured people and children, and it was very busy and it was great. So
I was gonna ask about that. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that it was well attended.
yeah. So that's all I have.
The website was saying until supplies last, that you have to turn people away.
I didn't hear whether that happened or not. I didn't hear her. I think she
Okay.
would have told me, but yeah, because I left around 5:30 and there were still tons of people here.
Does anybody have any new business they'd like to present?
Oh, our council report.
Did you,
Oh,
your
you did.
council?
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh. And then I have a question. Is there anything that the commission can do to help support the food bank? Is there a way that we can help with support produce
Well, I think,
connection?
I think financial contributions are probably the most useful because they also, there's two things. We get the stuff from the stores that we
Mhm.
sort, but then they have this other area called basic, which is stuff that they buy actually with.
Mhm.
And so, that is good because that stuff is just all completely fresh.
Mhm.
So I think financial contributions is the best if you can do it. Or if you have home produce, which we're running out of time on that, but we are having a lot of people bring stuff in. But definitely, I think financial contributions are helpful. Cause they can go out and buy stuff.
Is there like a QR code or some way that people can donate online?
I would think so. I don't run the website, so I'm not absolutely sure, but,
I think they must because the
concerned
high school
neighbors,
does
yeah.
it. The high school does fundraisers in November.
Yeah, it's Concern for Neighbors Food Bank, so. That's, and it's been in this community for over 50 years. So it's really, been a long time service for people. I'm just looking at the website to see. I don't see a QR code, but, donate. Let's see what it says.
Donate via PayPal.
Yeah.
Or sign up. Oh, you can also sign up and have your Fred Meyer rewards go to
Perfect.
Concern for Neighbors
Yeah.
Food Bank. So that might be a good thing for us as people to share with our friends and family.
The other thing
When you
is,
use your reward card, you can give kickbacks to
Yeah.
the.
the other thing
Do
is
an
there, if
organization.
you're gonna make a,
Or what rewards do we get?
huh?
Or what rewards do we get from Red Meyer that we can't give away?
Well, no, that you can tie your reward card to a nonprofit, and then that nonprofit gets a portion of they get a small donation from Fred Meyer
Oh. Based on the points
based on the amount of points. So then, yeah.
The other thing is on their website, on the donation page, they have a long list of preferred items. So, that's a good place, to go to see if you want to do physical items like food or even diapers or dog and cat food or whatever, it's, the list of things is there.
I mean, if the commission wants to promote this a little more widely, we could do some comms about it and just encourage people to donate, especially in the month of November or just now, like whatever your time frame is. But just encourage community giving.
Yeah. Well, and especially because if you tie your Fred Meyer or QFC card to account to Concern for Neighbors Food Bank, then a percentage of your purchase goes directly to the food bank. And I have not done a specific school in the past, but I would do the food bank.
Yeah, people are still, a little afraid to show up. They're still coming, like one car representing 5 families. Instead of individually coming, I think, because people are still afraid to be gathered in
Yeah.
some cases.
The program she's referring to is called Community Rewards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be really nice if we could, if there's. The city posted some of that or.
Does the commission want to sponsor some promotion about that?
I move that we sponsor promotion, that we encourage the city to sponsor promotion of the Concern for Neighbors Food Bank.
I second that.
All in favor?
I'm distracted with the Ferdinand. How is that, what does sponsoring would mean?
That would mean that we would encourage the city communication team to post about
Oh, yeah.
donating to Concern for Neighbors.
That's what the CN section is. so-
All
Yeah.
opposed? Motion carries.
Please send it to my friend.
Thank you for your question. Any other new business? No? Okay, I think it's time to adjourn.
All right, 8:32, pretty good.
We had more to do though. We had to
Yes, we
review the whole
We had a
strategic
lot.
plan.
Yeah, don't blame it on me. It was Carolyn.
What would we do with it? Forever.
It's you with,
I would just put a puppet here and I just abuse the puppet.
We're recording. Just making sure that everybody knows.